Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the Infatuasian podcast. And we are going to have a fun show today. We're going to be talking about traveling to Japan. And I think this audience and Jeff and Naomi, you can agree or disagree. I think the audience falls into three categories. One, they just got back from Japan. Two, they're going to Japan very, very soon. Or three, it's on their list and they're going to go in the nearest future possible. Does it sound about right?
Yep. Or they're there listening to
Or they're already... Yeah. That's true, though. Maybe you downloaded this episode and you're actually in Japan on the plane right now. That would be super clutch. I think you guys are category number one. You, like maybe a month ago, you guys just got back?
Yeah, we just got back maybe 3 weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
It took about a week to adjust back, but so far we're 100% back normally.
All right. Yeah. Are you already planning your next trip?
We are. We're looking at tickets.
That's nice.
All right. This will be a good show for you. You can do your planning at the same time.
Yes.
All right. Well, the voices you're listening to we know him from a couple episodes. It is Jeff Yamazaki, male fashion influencer from LA, California. Good to see you again, Jeff.
Good to see you, Curtis. Thank you for having me. I'm back on the show.
And finally, we have Jeff's better half, maybe a lifetime partner. We have Naomi. Hey, Naomi. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Curtis. Nice to meet you too.
Now, could you go Japanese with Naomi as well? Is that your Japanese name also?
Naomi is my Japanese name. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So we know Jeff a little bit, but we don't know you. So what are your roots and where were you born and raised?
So I was born in Australia. My dad's Australian. I lived there till I was 8 years old, and then we moved back where my mom is from, Tokyo, Japan. And I pretty much grew up there from elementary school till college. And while in college, I met Jeff. So after graduating, I moved out here in LA, and I've been here ever since.
Oh, so you've only been out here for 1 or 2 years then, or something?
Oh. 8 years?
Oh. You met Jeff, but you got married 1 or 2 years ago.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so you've been out here for a little while. You guys calling in from LA today?
Yes.
Yep.
What's good in LA? Your weather's good?
Weather's amazing. But one thing I've been seeing a lot in LA is a lot of Japanese companies are coming out into the US. So that's always interesting.
Okay.
And I think it partially ties in with all the people traveling to Japan and the boom of Japan at the moment. So It's pretty interesting.
We'll definitely talk about that boom for sure. Hey, I went to LA. I went to Little Tokyo a little while ago. I went to go see a play at East West Players.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and it was super great. And then so beforehand, to grab a bite, we went to Hama Sushi. Have you ever been to there?
I haven't been there, but I've heard about it.
Okay, yeah, really good.
So I could be right.
You got to line up. You got to line up like at 4 or something.
Yes.
But really good. All right. So besides traveling, what's new with the channel, Jeff?
I'm still creating my men's fashion content, but I am slowly getting into more home content, more lifestyle content.
Okay.
I think as I've gotten older, maybe people my age are starting to enjoy other things besides fashion, so home goods and lifestyle content. And I also really is pushing my YouTube channel this year, and I've been posting a couple a month now.
Yeah.
So been doing that YouTube content, long format YouTube, which is another beast, but it's been fun.
Yeah. Same name, same channel name.
Same channel name. Yes.
All right, you can find it. We'll drop our handles at the end of the show. But it's cool. You know which partnership I really enjoy, and I gotta tap your brain about this one, is your Seiko partnership.
Oh yes.
I'm kind of a basic. I just go get the smartwatch most days, but you know what? I dress up once in a while.
When you dress up, you gotta go the manual watch or something a little dressier.
Yeah. So the next time Seiko sends you a 6-pack of Seiko Grand watches, slide one my way. All right. Actually, we'll talk about shopping later. You had a little thing about where to find some watches in Japan, so that's pretty cool. All right. So this is gonna be fun. We're just gonna ask you a bunch of questions, and you guys are kind of experts at this. Actually, how many times have you been to Japan now? It's been
Ooh.
well, Naomi lived there. So-
Yeah.
I think ever since I moved, we've gone back once or twice a year for sure.
Okay.
And I feel like for you too, like growing up here, summer break, you were probably in Japan.
Yeah. So I would say 50 times maybe.
Whoa, that's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, around there.
Okay. It helps when you have family there you can stay with.
Yeah. I think we'll talk about it in the lodging section, but yeah, it's nice to have family out in Japan.
Yeah. All right. So all we need now is a Zip Air sponsorship or Japan Airlines.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, Zip Air, if you're listening, sponsor us. We'll go. All right, so we're gonna just ask some questions. I think, kind of like you just said a minute ago, like your friends are asking you this stuff all the time anyway, so you have answers ready to go for these topics.
Yep.
All right, I fall into the category number 3, where I've never been,
Oh,
but dying to go. And my daughters are old enough now; they're 13 and 15, so they're into anime, they're into little collectibles, and a little bit of Nintendo. But I think it'll be really fun to go with them pretty soon. One of these days, hopefully, one of these days. All right, so let's get into the super basic stuff first. So let's say, well, you don't have to pretend you're talking to a first timer, okay? So you don't have to pretend
It's true.
like you're talking to a first timer. So, first of all, who does the planning, Jeff or Naomi,
Ooh.
or team effort?
At this point, we don't really plan out that much. We just get there and we kind of figure out by the day. Like we spend a lot of time with friends and family too, so with their schedules. But I think what we like to do is decide on an area, and beforehand, I like to save all my spots on Google Maps. And
Ah,
that's one of the tools I use a lot, and we have like different lists. So I have a like want to eat list, like a good eat list, a shopping list, like cool places to see. I kind of like categorize it like that.
yeah.
And when we say, okay, like maybe today we can hang out in Ginza. So we'll go to that area and I'll like pull out my Google Maps and see, oh, I added this place that I want to go. And we'll kind of walk our way through those spots and just the
Uh,
neighborhood. But yeah, I'm kind of in charge of all the spots, like checking the trendy
yeah, yeah.
places. Yeah.
And then I'm sure you see stuff like me. I think you see stuff on Instagram or you see other people's trips. Is that one of those things you just kind of make a note of this, this new place or something you haven't been to?
I think, but also, when I see a lot of like Americans and like they go, it's totally different experience
Mm,
than what I'm like used to. Like they
yeah.
go to like I've never been to a mini pig cafe or like
True.
so
Yeah.
I feel like they're on a whole different trip than me, and a lot
Sure.
of the information I'm pulling from is like we watch a lot of like Japanese TV,
Mm,
Japanese like friends and family, of course, but also like food accounts that are run by like local Japanese
uh,
people. So I think those places where I see a lot of influencers now like talking, I'm like, that's interesting. Like that's what's a really different trip than what we
yeah.
usually
Different
experience.
audience. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, so looking at the calendar now, unfortunately, so I'm a teacher, so unfortunately, my time to travel is probably one of the worst times to travel. But if you look at a calendar, what are the seasons that you like to go most of all?
Ooh. But you said as a teacher, probably you're talking about summer, right?
July, yeah.
Yeah. So we put like I think the most underrated time to go to Japan is the summer, and there's huge downsides to the summer, especially with the heat, and it's kind of grueling.
It's humid
Yeah,
too.
very
Yeah,
humid.
yeah.
But in terms of culture, Japanese culture, there's a whole different world of Japanese culture that you can
Oh,
see only in the summer,
okay.
like local activities or matsuri, Japanese summer matsuri, natsu matsuri, so
It's like a
like a
festival.
festival.
Mhm.
Mm,
And it's only during the summer, and all the whole town comes out, and there's all these food stalls and activities and fireworks and really fun local activities that you could only do during the summer, and it's kid friendly, and your whole family could come out, and you could really see the local culture through this festival. And
Okay.
it's a really fun time, and there's different types of foods that are only sold during the summer.
Yeah,
Oh.
especially like fruits, like peaches are one thing that's only available. Like fresh peaches in the summer is like amazing. Like melon, watermelon. I said like muscats. Like
Muscat grapes.
yeah,
Oh, the giant grapes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You sold me. I could go in July and have a good time.
yeah. It's just the heat. Like if you have enough preparation with heat and keeping yourself cool.
Yeah, mentally prepared for that heat. That's
Okay.
really
Are there regions, you know how here sometimes we can go, like, if you guys know the Bay Area is a lot cooler than LA. Is there anything like that in Japan where if you're really hitting a heat wave, you can travel outside a little bit and get a little relief?
Sure, yeah. If you go more north, Hokkaido, they're really known. I think Hokkaido's most known for their Niseko. Was it Niseko?
Niseko.
Snow, like with the powder snow and the snowboard. But that's like the top of Japan and where it's probably the coolest.
Okay.
right. And I think the summer is a little bit more mild up north.
Yeah.
But the more south you go, it definitely gets hotter and hotter.
Closer to the equator.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially like Okinawa, where it's supposed to be like a Japanese Hawaii down
Oh,
there. So
okay.
it gets quite hot.
Do you have a personal favorite season to go?
Me, I like to go at the end of the year.
Oh,
Winter, early winter is my favorite. I think
yeah.
it's not too hot nor too cold. There's a lot of activities, and it feels like LA weather during the winter.
Okay.
So it's not, it's very a mild climate.
Yeah.
And a lot of
Yeah.
things during that time too.
All right. Good advice. Good advice. Any tips for getting a good flight? We just talked about, well, for one, get sponsored by Zip Air or Japan Airlines. But
Please.
besides that, any tips for flights? How can we save a little money?
I think Zip Air, like if you don't know Zip Air, it's like a Japanese airline that's kind of like a budget airline. I think the owners Japan Airlines, so their service pretty much they go through the same training process. So the service is really there, but it's very cheap. There's no food. There's no movies. You do get Wi-Fi, so you can kind of do what you want. But I think it's all since it's a budget airline, it's all optional.
Yeah.
But we love using Zip Air. Like the only thing is where our family is close to like Haneda Airport, which is more into the city, but it only flies out to Narita. And I always tell our friends like we compare it to LA, like Haneda is more like LAX, where it's central, like very close to the city, and Narita's more like Long Beach Airport, a little far out. So that's the only downside that I can think of. But we bring back a lot of stuff, so you do have to pay for your luggage, but you get up to 30 kilos per bag, which is 7 kilos more than a normal airline. And that 7 kilos saved, like, that's a lot for us. We do enjoy that additional. And I don't really like airplane food. So we always bring our own food anyways and snacks. And if you are hungry and don't have anything, they have Shin ramen.
Okay.
Yeah, so like there's we really enjoy just the airline, and if you do get a good deal and like book ahead, they have really great prices.
What's the cheapest you've ever gotten?
I think 600. I might have seen something like in the fives one time, but cheapest like 650 around there.
Yeah. Like maybe like February or something like that, or
February, even like October, November, I think, that area. Well, honestly, it's crazy to see the breakdown of the prices. It's $250 for the base fare, just like for the flight, and then all the taxes and everything is another $250. So like you're still paying $100 each way for the flight, which is really crazy to think, but it can work.
Yeah. I think I just looked yesterday. I think if you fly in May, it's still not too bad. I think you can do under 1,000 round trip in May. But once you get to June, July, it starts to creep up to,
Yeah.
over 1,000. But
If it's around like under 1,000, we think, oh, okay, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
But when it goes above, we're like, that feels very like a little expensive. Like we might want to rethink.
well, yeah, and I'm 4X, so I have four. There's four of us. So every time it goes over every $200, like basically another $800. So yeah, okay. So we'll bite the bullet one of these days. But yeah, so no real downside to Zip Air. I like that. I think I'm fine with bare bones. Like you said, sneak on a pack of ramen and you're good.
Yep.
All right. So you have family, so that kind of dictates where you go. But what else? So if let's say I have 2 weeks, what would you break it down city-wise? How long in Tokyo, and then how long in other cities, and what other cities?
Yeah. So my friend just traveled kind of same travel dates, 2 months, like when I just came back, and he stayed for 14 days, and then he coined the little term like sandwich, the sandwich method, where you do Tokyo for 3-4 days, Kyoto and Osaka for 3-4 days, and then come back to Tokyo for 3 to 4 days. And for a first timer, he said it was the perfect amount of time between each city, and the getting acclimated first in Japan for 4 to 5 days is really key. And once you start doing all the konbini, all like the must do things in Tokyo, then you go out to Kyoto and Osaka, and it's a whole different vibe out there. And then once you're at the tail end of Kyoto and Osaka, I was like, I kind of want to go back to the city. And then you train it back all the way to Tokyo, and you have this massive city back under your for another couple of days, and you do all your last minute shopping, and you fly out. And so that kind of sandwich method is really good.
Yeah, no, I like that term. What, should we shout him out? Should we name it after him? Copyright it now?
Oh, yeah, his name's Coastal Flicks.
Coastal Flicks sandwich method. All right, so no one else can ever use it. No, I like it because, like you said, you're so out of it for like 3 or 4 days, and then you're gonna think you don't want to have to feel like, oh, I have to do this because I'm never coming back here. But in your mind, you're like, well, no, I'll be back here in 7 days, and I can do the things I missed without, and then you won't be jet lagged too. You can.
True.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe the time when you land, you do all the stuff where it's like super early morning because you're so messed up anyway.
Dude, yeah, you're waking up at 4 or 5 a.m.
Right.
Which gives you the whole day, which is nice, and adrenaline keeps you up till night. It's quite fun.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I could see that too. Yeah, you just kind of running on fumes, but you're like, I'm here, I'm doing it. Okay. All right. So you said Kyoto for like 3 days, and then Osaka for 3 days. 3 or 4.
If you have maybe 4, if you have 4 days between, like 2 days in Kyoto, 2 days in Osaka, I think that's kind of plenty.
Yeah, and I think I usually say it really depends on what you're trying to get out of that trip. Kyoto has a lot of more sightseeing and areas to go around. Osaka's more, I think, food. There is a few places that you can sightsee, but I think like 1 day is enough to like cover all that places. So even if like a friend's going like 10 days max, I'll recommend like maybe 3 days between Kyoto and Osaka. Just stay in Kyoto, and on the way back from Tokyo, just do a day trip. Like leave Kyoto in the morning and go to Osaka, do a day trip, and at night like just hop on the bullet train back to Tokyo. That's what I usually recommend.
Yeah, and Kyoto's the one with like the 500-year-old streets and buildings.
Yeah, and
temples galore.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that's where it's like very different from Tokyo. Osaka is a little bit more city compared to modernized than Kyoto. So like to get that difference, like enjoying and relaxing in Kyoto, I feel like is definitely a must.
Okay, yeah. No, I've definitely heard people say that that's their favorite, the favorite part of the trip. It's because it's so different. It's different than the rest of Japan. All right, now taking a little side quest here to more advanced trip, not for a first timer. So let's say you've been to Japan 2 or 3 times and you want to try something new. Do you have any secret, or not secret, but off the beaten path cities or places that you really enjoy?
Yeah, so not just Japan, but when we travel, food is like a really important part of
Uh-huh.
traveling.
Uh-huh.
And in Japan, different regions have very different types of food or
Oh.
specific that they're really good at. So when you think about that, Fukuoka is one of like places. I did a girls trip there a few years ago, and we had so much fun. It was like nonstop eating, but
Uh-huh.
everything from like tonkotsu ramen, like the with the pork broth that's
Uh,
from there. What else did we eat? Motsunabe, which is
Intestine soup.
hot pot.
oh, okay.
That's very known there. So they have like really known food. So what we like even ramen stores open at 8 a.m. and there's like a huge line for people waiting to eat like a very heavy tonkotsu ramen.
All right.
Um, Also, Hakone is one of our favorite places to go to just get out of the city. And it's really close from Tokyo to like 2 hour train ride. It's a little like hot spring town, so like
Huh.
all the hotels, there's Japanese style hotels called ryokans that they have hot springs at. So we usually go out there and we do nothing. We just stay at the hotel, take baths, eat nice food, and just like relax there. And we got married there too, so
Okay.
special place to us.
Yeah, yeah.
What else?
Um, Okinawa.
Okay.
I think that's like a more advanced place to go.
Uh-huh.
It's similar
Maybe
to
like your third trip or
yeah,
something,
third or
fourth trip.
fourth
Yeah.
trip, especially when you take a
Okay.
train, take an airplane. I think that's kind of advanced because it's kind of a waste of time if you're taking kind of a flight. And
Mm.
so if you're trying to look for new places, Okinawa, we ended up going to what was it?
Miyakojima.
Oh, Miyakojima. There's a lot of small islands in Okinawa, and one of the islands we went to was Miyakojima, and then really looks like Hawaii, but with
Uh-huh.
Japanese hospitality. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, kind of the best of both worlds.
It's
It's
beautiful, yeah.
beautiful, like crystal clear beaches,
Yeah.
kind of that southern feel to it. It's very like hospitality is really nice down there, and the local food is totally kind of maybe not totally different, but very unique to that area. So, highly recommend going to Okinawa.
Do you have any trouble with dialects or accents? Like when like Okinawan Japanese is a lot different, right?
Yeah. That's one thing I really saw when we went to restaurants and they were talking about the menu, and some I didn't understand some of the Japanese.
Okay. All right. And I got one for you. Shout out to Etsuko, my sister's pen pal.
Oh,
My sister's had a pen pal for like 40, 50 years, like a really long time. And so they like their teacher, I think the teacher in Japan connected with this teacher in San Francisco and like, hey, do any of the kids want to have a pen pal? And my sister raised her hand and started writing. And this is the 80s, right? So my sister had a fascination with Japan. Like it was really a big thing. And they've kept in touch for all these years. And she's visited us, but they're from Gifu?
oh, I
Gifu?
was just there 2 weeks
Oh, yeah?
ago. Yeah.
Is that more of an industrial city or more of a
It
suburby feel?
is it's kind of what do you call it? It is kind of suburby. It's very a sleepy town for sure. It's known for choching, Japanese lantern making.
Oh,
They
okay.
have a lot of kogehi, like a lot of Japanese, I think in Gifu, traditional handmade goods or like craftsmanship, like Japanese
Uh,
mino paper, like washi, like a Japanese type of paper. Like even the chojin people were saying chojin's like a lamp and like a Japanese style lantern. Like you need
uh-huh.
wood, you need paper, and you need really good water to do all that. So they have that
Uh,
infrastructure to kind of create really traditional Japanese, like even like art and
hmm Yeah, a lot of craftsmen um, congregated in Gifu, and did a lot of
oh, okay.
traditional Japanese art and goods in that city.
Okay. All right, Etsuko, coming for you. Coming to Gifu. I think she listens to the podcast. She'll definitely listen to this podcast. So she's always open. She's always said, come by anytime, stay for a month. So I might have to take her up on that. All right. Well, let's talk about money a little bit. Now, again, everyone's different, but we talked about flights a second ago. But what about lodging? If I don't have a grandma and grandpa in Japan, what are some tips for lodging? Where would you suggest?
Ooh, for us,
Yeah, this is one area we have like zero idea.
Because you've never had to.
Yeah, especially in Tokyo. Like going out of
Yeah.
Tokyo, of course, like Hakone, Fukuoka. Like we have, and it's not. I don't think it's that bad, but like I as a whole trip, because like our main like place is Tokyo. We've never really had to pay,
Yeah.
so. Yeah, all my friends ask me for like recommendations for hotels, and I'm like, I don't know.
Well, how about what area in Tokyo do you think would be a good spot for us first
I
timers?
definitely have that. I always send like a screenshot of the Tokyo map, and in Tokyo, there's a train line called the Yamanote line, which goes around Tokyo. A lot of train lines just like one, and they go back and forth, but the Yamanote line goes around and around. I say like the when you look at Tokyo, the left bottom side of that Yamanote line, around that
Okay.
area is my favorite, where Shibuya, Meguro, Ebisu, like around that area, staying around there, you can literally go to anywhere you want. And it's a really good area, even like around the hotel, just to walk around.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Everyone knows Shibuya Crossing. That is the famous intersection. Yeah. Okay. So you don't have any tips for saving money unless you have a grandparent or an auntie or uncle. That's your tip. All right. So how about food though? What do you think would be a reasonable budget? Now, of course, you're going to go bigger some days and cheaper other days,
Mhm.
but kind of on average, what would you spend per day, you think?
So I was kind of calculating that and
Uh-huh.
realized food in Japan is quite cheap compared to what you
Right.
find in LA. And of course, you'll find expensive food anywhere.
Right.
But for really good quality food for cheap is what I think Japan is well known for. And
And it's cheaper because of the exchange rate. It's like already cheap, but now
Yeah.
it's like cheaper with the exchange
Yeah.
rate.
right.
Yeah.
So I would say maybe like $50 a day, like per
Oh,
person.
wow.
I feel like you get really good a deal. And I was kind of looking at it. And if you want to go really cheap, you could do kombini breakfast, which is already good for maybe $3, $4.
Oh,
And then
wow.
a gyudon, which is like a beef bowl, which is really good again. It's like $5. And then for
Okay.
dinner, you could do ramen for $6 or $7.
If you,
So it's like a
I-
$15 day, and
yeah.
all like what Japan is well known for. But then if you add $30, $40 to that, you could kind of get a really nice lunch set deal in Tokyo, or kind of
Uh-huh.
splurge on sushi for dinner. But there's so much wide range within, either just like if you want sushi, there's such a wide range of pricing. And even if you
Okay.
go to the lowest or to like middle or high, it's all very good quality.
You could,
Yeah.
if you're on a budget, you can still enjoy a lot of good food even on a budget.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. My wife said another high school, different high school than me, and they have a Japanese class and they do a trip every year.
Wow.
Oh.
And I know we got a chaperone. But I think they do convenience store quite often, and they really save money where they can.
And it's cheap, but it's fun too. And we like that's our first meal off the plane.
Oh,
We
yeah.
go straight to Konbini, get our rice balls and on use it, and yeah.
Nice. Now, does it matter which one? You go 7-Eleven, Lawson's, what's your favorite?
Yeah. I think it splits among people, but I'm a huge 7-Eleven fan. 7-Eleven.
I can't choose. Like I have
Okay.
for specific. Like I like the rice bowls at Family Mart. I like the dessert at Lawson. 7-Eleven's like all around good, but I
Uh-huh.
can't choose. I love them all.
No, I agree with you. I've been to Taiwan. I haven't been to Japan, but yeah, they have convenience stores on every block,
Mhm.
and yeah, you can get real food for real cheap, 24 hours a day. It's pretty great.
And it's I think more recently, a lot of brands too, like whatever, like gummies, chips, all that, they do specific collabs with the convenience store. So there's some things I can only get at that specific
Oh, wow.
city. So I say go to all of them.
Yeah.
Don't just go to 7-Eleven. Like go
Yeah.
and you'll definitely have different experiences there.
And different 7-Elevens too, right? Each
Yeah.
one is a little different.
All different.
Yeah.
And it's like finding the new stuff. There's always new things. Even if I go back a month later, there's a new collab or new
Flavor.
product, new flavor every single month, which is always so fun.
Okay. All right, man. The problem about doing this episode is I want to go right now. So do you kind of split, like I'm kind of like this, if I go back to a place that I've been to before, I try to do some new places, but there's some classic favorites that I have to do every single trip I do. How do you pick restaurants?
Oh.
We have a handful of restaurants that we like definitely go with our friends or just the two of us that like I need to go and get.
You have to go every time. Yeah.
Yeah, that one of those restaurants for me is called Yakiniku Futago. Futago Yakiniku. And it's kind of this whole, it's a chain, but also kind of hole in the wall-y. That's like kind of the vibe. But they have this piece of beef that
it's a Japanese barbecue place.
Oh yeah, Japanese barbecue place. And it has this rectangular grill, and they bring out this thing called hamideru kalbi. So it's a kalbi, but the piece just overflows the grill, and it's just this huge piece of meat, and it's very thin. But the attendant kind of cooks it for you, and has this really good savory Japanese barbecue taste to it. And you just get the Japanese like vibe of just when you're dining there, you're like, oh, I'm in Japan feeling.
Yeah. I can see you reliving it. You're tearing up a little, Jeff. I can see you reliving it.
I love that place.
Oh man, yeah, I like those places too, where even if it's not like the most unique but it's for you the place that reminds you of Japan. You know, like there may be others, but for you, that's the one.
Right.
How about you, Naomi? You have one place you have to go to every single time?
Yeah. I like to go to this place. I've been going there ever since high school. It's also a chain. It's called I'm blanking the name. Gyutan
Negishi.
Oh yeah, it's called Negishi. It's a beef tongue place. So you go there, they have these set menus and you choose what type of like tongue you want. It's really like more of like what part of the tongue and the thickness of the tongue. They grill it in the kitchen. And it comes with rice, tail soup, and a little bit of pickles. And that's the simplest meal, but every time we go there, we usually go there day 1 or day 2, and I like cry a little. I'm like, oh, I'm home.
It's home. Yeah, no, I love that. I saw someone go to one of those yakitori places where you could basically get a whole chicken like in different parts. Like, here's the thighs, here's the hearts, here's the like every single piece of the chicken on a stick.
Right. And one thing for yakitori is you could only eat that like breed of chicken in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's why the chicken at yakitori in Japan is so good, because it's bred for that, just for that yakitori.
And lots of different kinds of breeds too.
Yeah. But you can't import it into the US.
Oh, okay. And they're experts. They do it all day, like I think when I watch Japanese shows with these little shops, that's what I love, is that they do one thing and they're experts at it. Like we don't really have that much of that culture here.
Right.
I feel like that's kind of unique to Japan because it's so dense, I guess.
And I think that's what I was surprised when I first moved here. Like when you go to a Japanese restaurant, they have everything from like ramen to I don't know, like sushi. I'm like,
Yeah, katsu, yeah, karage, yeah, sushi, yeah, everything. Yeah. Same, yeah. I saw a show where they went to this. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's supposedly pretty famous it's this tiny restaurant with 5 tables, and all they do is like this $40 cheesecake. Where
Oh, really?
it's in this show called J Foodie Meets K Foodie. I'll send
Oh,
you a link to it, and
okay.
it's got 5 seats, and it's in this location. Kind of, I think it might be outside of Tokyo, and it has a view of the sunset. And all they do is this $40 cheese, one slice,
Wow.
$40, and
okay.
but they
Yeah.
pair it with like wine or coffee, or it's like, and you just sit there on a date and just look at the sunset and eat cheesecake.
And there's probably one guy that's perfected that
Oh
cheesecake for
yeah, his whole
decades.
life.
Yeah, his whole life.
He's dedicated his whole life to that. Yeah. No, that kind of detail, attention to detail, and specificity, I think is kind of cool. I think I really respect that.
Yeah.
All right. What's your favorite thing to get at the convenience store? Egg salad sandwich?
Oh,
We don't get that, huh?
I know. I wouldn't either.
No, I
Of all the
don't.
other things, but people talk about it. But
Rice balls, like onigiris, that's like our thing.
uh-huh.
That we always miss every day. I love ice cream, like convenient ice cream is my
Oh.
and always an ice cream section in a convenience store. So I run there and check what's like new. When we even like go to a restaurant for dinner on our way home, we're stopping by a convenience to get our dessert.
Yeah.
Super cheap, like 150 yen, so like less than $1.
That's cool.
For me, it's a drink called Mitsuwa Cider, and I think Japan's version of Sprite, but it is kind of a lemon lime flavor, but it's very unique to Japan, called Mitsuwa Cider. Mitsuya Cider. And it reminds me of my childhood. My grandma used to give it to me when I would travel to back home. And it's they have that original flavor, and they have different flavors throughout the year depending on the season. They have like a grape flavor, orange flavor, full flavor, and peach flavor. Oh my god, there's so many. The drink option is almost endless in convenience too. So I love the drink section there.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's cool. All right, so we got our food, we got our lodging, we got our travel. Sir, shopping. We got to get to shopping.
Yes.
So we're talking to a fashion influencer, so we got to talk shopping. Where do we need to go? Well, what stores and what neighborhoods do we need to go to? Well, let's start with neighborhood. What neighborhood first?
I think Shibuya, Harajuku, I think is the go-to.
Okay, yeah.
As I started doing more fashion content in Japan, I started to realize how much Harajuku and Shibuya, it's like pretty centrally located in those two cities.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's your first, second, or third time, I feel like you don't even have to venture out of those two cities to find fashion.
Or all the stores.
All the stores are all in.
Yeah. We usually do like one day of shopping. We hop off like the JR line at Harajuku Station, kind of head towards like Omotesando, Aoyama, which is where the high-end brands and like a lot of flagship stores are. So we check around there, and right next to Harajuku is the Shibuya Station. So in between there's lots of streets where we can get streetwear at Cat Street. Or even a lot of the trendier stores and brands from Japan are like really in between that two stations. And then you get to Shibuya where there's like when I say mall, it feels a little different from the mall here, but it's just like a huge building with like shops and shops and shops like on every floor. So that's how we kind of end the day. And that's kind of our route that we perfected throughout the years.
Yeah. Okay. No, that sounds great. I think my daughters will find so much to do than just doing the shopping. Because, we went to New York and that's all they wanted to do. I was like, you want to go to a museum? You want to do this? Like, no, we're just going to shop. Oh, man, I'm in trouble. John. All right, but I saw a reel that you had about Bit Camera and other places to get Japanese watches. Or other electronics too, I guess.
hmm Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting because I'm only recently getting into watches, and when I went to Japan, I was looking for buying a Grand Seiko and Seiko, and when I went to Big Camera we were trying to buy like a disposable camera or like a smaller camera. We went in and there's this huge section for watches, brand new watches. And when I looked, there's all sorts of brands from Japanese brands, Grand Seiko, Seiko, Citizen, um, G-Shock, Casio.
Yeah.
Uh, and then you'll have some more of the international European brands as well. But
Right.
in the middle of this huge electronic department store, they have a dedicated area for watches.
That's cool.
And you'll actually find watches here that you won't see in the flagship boutique stores. It might be one season earlier or something that's not as popular. And so if you love watches or want to find a better deal for a watch, this is a great place to search first, and you could really compare and contrast all these watch brands in one place.
Is it a little cheaper than buying here because it is Japanese made?
Oh, 100%. It's almost like 15-20%, maybe 15% cheaper, and you get tax free on top of that. So it's quite a deal. I bought this was 2-3 years ago, but I bought a Grand Seiko in not at Big Camera, not at the electronics store, but at the boutique. And with the exchange rate and tax free, and comparing it with the US pricing, I think I saved maybe like 2K, like 1.5.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's like a huge difference. And you could even go to this is like another tip, is where instead of buying it at a boutique, at that Grand Seiko boutique or Seiko boutique, you go to a department store.
Oh.
And they also sell Grand Seikos there, and you could get an additional 5% for actually shopping at that specific department store.
Okay.
And that's like another way to save a couple more dollars.
Hey, all right. Good to know. And the selection probably bigger too, right?
Yeah, 100%. The selection is all crazy, especially electronics stores, like maybe too much.
I know. Yeah. Okay, so I'll put it on the list. Oh, yeah, and no tariffs too.
That's true. Oh, yeah.
So yeah, maybe the Japanese watches here will go up 150%. We'll see. I don't know. What other things are, so I'm a family of 4, teenagers. What other things should we look for shopping?
I like cooking. So if you cook like cookware, Japan has a lot of great everything from like knives to like plates to even like pans, and like so we got a lot of all our prides are actually things that we brought back in suitcases. What else?
For kids, do they ask you to buy Sunny Angels or Smiths?
Yeah. Pop Mart stuff, yeah.
So we found or Naomi's aunt showed me this toy store in Ginza. I feel like I've never seen in content before yet, and it's at the very end of this Ginza Dori, the main shopping district in Ginza. Because this is where I found Sunny Angels and Smiskis galore. There's so many inventory.
Yeah, but if you go to the popular place is called Kittyland, it's sold out. Like you can't. Yeah,
because it's like right in the middle of Harajuku, and so a lot of foot traffic is there. But in this, it's called Hakuhinkan Toy Park, and it's at the end of Ginza Dori. And I found this really cool sakura version of Sunny Angels.
Oh wow,
really cool. And there's a ton of Smiskis there. So if you're looking for those blind boxes, it's a huge toy shop too. So like, all your kids would have a field day for like six floors of toys.
Oh wow.
And also like beauty, like Japanese beauty, skincare. And I think Japan, like we call it in Japan, variety stores.
Okay.
So you can get anything from skincare, food, cookware, what else? Like stationery in one store. It's like Loft or Hankyu, Hands, Donkey is one of them. So spending just like a few hours there might not be enough, but I think just taking your daughters there, it answers all your questions.
Okay. Okay. I am getting a sinking feeling that I'm in a lot of trouble. We're gonna have to get out of the city once in a while, I think. All right, so I think we got all our bases covered, but maybe some last minute tips. Anything that you bring with you, packing tips or gadgets or maps or whatever you bring with you?
So Japan, similar to like LA, they charge you for any shopping bag.
Oh, okay.
So we always bring reusable bags.
Yeah.
We love the brand Bagu where you can kind of fold out.
They're really small. Yeah.
Yeah, keep it small.
Mhm.
So we always carry those around.
Okay.
We recently got a luggage scale, like a portable one. So like I didn't know how much amazing like it was. Like when we're coming back, we at home because we always have to repack at the airport
Which is
because we're always
embarrassing. Yeah.
yeah. But at home we can kind of check the weight. So that's been really
Okay.
good to
Is
have.
it kind of a scale that you hang on like something?
Exactly,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
The one that we found on Japanese TikTok is called a 3 coins hack. And it's a store called 3 coins, which means 300 yen or 100 yen coins.
Uh-huh.
So buys things with 300 yen.
Oh, it's like a
And
dollar store kind of
dollar store, yeah,
vibe.
but
Okay.
$3 store, yeah.
Yeah.
And they have these maybe 2x1 duffel bags.
It's
Ah.
it's more
It's like a
like
storage bag.
and it's plastic. You know the IKEA bag, like the blue
Yeah.
bags?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
that material, but it has like a zipper on it. So what we've been doing recently, and especially because of cheap flights, they only offer you one free luggage.
Uh-huh.
So we go there with one free luggage, and when we come back, we pay for the additional, but we
Mm.
get those plastic storage bags
Yeah.
and we put as much as we can.
Yeah. Yeah.
There.
One, you don't have to buy another luggage from like Don
Right.
Quixote, which is another 15, like $15-$20. So you're good with like $2 for the bag, and
Yeah.
you fill in 30 kilos of stuff there, and it lasts the flight. And you could reuse it at home, but it's
We just pack it in our bag again
Yeah.
and bring it back.
yeah.
But
So that's a great hack.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I know exactly what kind of bag you're talking about. Yeah. That's cool. Okay. All right. I guess that's kind of it. I think we survived.
Oh,
But you're not done yet. We have what we call our Yao, which is your Asian opinion. It used to be a lightning round, but we ended up talking so much it was never really that fast. So go ahead and expand on your answers. This is your Asian opinion. So some people, what is something that people might be surprised, like a first timer like me? What's
Mhm.
something that I might be either pleasantly or unpleasantly surprised if I go to Japan?
I got a unpleasantly for you.
Okay.
There's no trash cans in Tokyo. Have you heard of that?
No.
Oh, there's no public trash cans
Huh.
in metropolitan Tokyo. And so you have to throw away your trash either at your hotel or at maybe convenience stores sometimes has a trash can, but pretty much you have to carry your trash
Carry it
around
with you.
all day. So that's why having that bagu or the disposable bag,
Yeah.
reusable bag is really important so you can put your trash there. But a
Yeah.
lot of first timers can't find a trash
They're
can.
looking around for miles.
Or carrying your coffee cup like the whole day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're so used to this every corner.
Mhm. And then,
Okay.
like a tip is like some convenience stores do keep out a trash bag in the front, but it's kind of maybe not rude, but if you're not buying anything from there, it's kind of
Yeah.
rude.
Because they're probably paying per bag, right? For
Right.
removal.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right.
I think how everything's organized and how like there's not secret rules, but like when you go there, it looks like a chaos, but everything's organized in a way. Like for instance, like for trains, like it's a common rule that you let everyone out first and then you go in. So everyone's just waiting in a line. No, it's that everything's kind of organized in a very crowded like train station. What else?
Walk up the escalator on the right side, and then stand on the left.
Opposite of the U.S.
Oh yes,
right?
yes. Do we have that rule?
I think in like Washington D.C. or one of those ones with the really long ones, you stand on the right and people walk on the left.
Oh, interesting. But the interesting is if you go to the south, like Osaka, it's the opposite.
Huh. But they all drive on the opposite side of the road, though, right?
Yes, yes.
All of Japan. Yeah. Huh. Okay. All right. So this is our Japanese lesson time. All right. Besides basic greetings and thank yous and you're welcomes, what's a handy phrase that we should learn in Japanese before we get there?
I think the most handy one is suimasen. Suimasen.
Suimasen.
It has a lot of meanings and you can use it a lot of different ways. One of them is like excuse me, like if you're passing by something, suimasen. Or if you want to call someone at the restaurant, like suimasen. But also if you want to apologize, like if you bump into someone, you can say oh suimasen. It means sorry too. So what a handy one that you can use, and I think you'll hear too when you're in Japan. Another one I like to teach my friends is ごちそうさまでした. It has a lock on, but it means like thank you for your food. It was delicious. So whenever you're leaving a restaurant, you kind of say it towards either the waitress or the people that are cooking food, and it kind of gives that like appreciation. And I think that you feel nice.
Okay, good ones.
Like a local too.
Oh yeah, if you get the pronunciation right.
Yeah.
All right, you got to practice those. All right, now I think I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What was your favorite moment ever in Japan?
Our wedding.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw pictures of it. It looked pretty great. You were like in the forest or?
That was Hakone, like the hot spring town. We rented out a whole hotel and all our guests for the night. At night after the wedding, everyone went into the bath together. Amazing day. But I think you have another recent good memory.
Besides the wedding, since I'm doing a lot more fashion stuff in Japan, I got to do Tokyo Fashion Week when I went this past. And really opened my eyes to kind of the fashion scene in Japan. And it's totally different from the US. I feel like it's similar to like the European Fashion Week. But being able to go and kind of experience Tokyo Fashion Week is kind of a lifelong goal to do that.
Yeah.
It was really fun. And my going to Japanese school when I was young really paid off finally.
Yeah. All right. Even though you might have hated it at the time. Paying off now. That's cool. That's cool. All right. So you got the YouTube channel is growing, and you said a little bit more household content coming up. Anything else we want to shout out for content, or just keep an eye on it and you'll see new things?
I also, if you want some inspo, like shopping inspo, for Japan, I uploaded 2 videos that people are really enjoying. So more specific products that you could look at, like salvage denim or home goods, like incense, shoes. So if you need some inspo for shopping in Japan, definitely check that out on my YouTube channel at Jeff Yamazaki.
All right. And then I think that's going to do it for our episode. I'll list all your contacts in the show notes, and everyone out there, you can always reach us at infatuasianpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on social media at Infatuasian Podcast, and Zip Air sponsor us so we can get some flights over to Japan. We'll put all these details in the show notes. Jeff and Naomi, thank you so much for sharing your information with us.
Thank you, Curtis. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, you know what? I have to time it for your next trip and say, oh, wow, Jeff, you're here. What a coincidence in Tokyo. That would be the best. It always helps to have a local guide, yeah?
100%.
All right, that's the best. So if you can't have Jeff with you, you can at least watch his content and he'll walk you through a little bit of the travel. But everyone out there, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate you hanging out with us, and hopefully you learned something. Come back again soon. So on behalf of Jeff, Naomi, and myself, we hope that you're all happy, healthy, and safe out there. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
you.